Hello and welcome to another edition of the Get Wet podcast. Today we have Lauren Glass all the way out in Seattle. So on the other side of the world for me. What's the temperature? I always like to ask this question. So sorry, I just want to know because it's February here in the Midwest in Ohio and it's nothing but snow, dreary, cold. So what's it there?
So surprisingly, we got a little dusting of snow this morning. This is the first time I've seen snow in a very long time. And Seattle normally doesn't get snow. Like this is a very rare occurrence. I haven't checked the temperature, but I can say it's in the snow region. So it's cold enough.
So that means like, did the city just like shut down? Like, oh my God, there's white stuff. We're shutting down.
Normally it does. The city's already fairly shut down given circumstances. But yeah, even more so today. People definitely don't want to drive and staying home more than already we are.
There were no salt trucks out this morning to make sure those roads were clear. No.
I did not see any. But it's not as cold as it is in the Midwest. So it definitely, the roads start to clear and the snow is melting, but we're like beginning of snow. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So, well, you know what? It's been a couple of crazy years. So why not just throw some snow over there in Seattle and just really make it crazy?
Keep shaking things up. Yeah.
That's right.
We're expecting a couple more days of snow actually. Tomorrow should be clear, but I saw it was very surprising for Seattle that I think 3 days starting Sunday maybe we're gonna get snow, which is very unusual.
So we're supposed to get hit with the snowstorm starting Sunday too. So it just, I guess, is everywhere.
Yeah, we're in it together.
Except we're supposed to get a stupid amount of inches, and you might just get a dusting.
We'll get the leftovers.
Okay.
We'll take the leftovers. Got that.
All right. Well, fair deal. So, all right. So, Lauren, tell us about yourself, a little bit of your background. You go from there.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much. So where to start? My name is Lauren. I'm a data engineer at Instagram. I work on Instagram shopping. I think my career is like 7 years long now. I've done a variety of data engineering and data science roles, and I've worked at Zillow, Facebook, Instagram, Checkpoint, and a few others. I took a bit of time off midway through my career to do some teaching. And that is where, I know. Yeah, it's a surprise.
Like normally people are like, oh, I took a few years off to have kids or go back to school. And you're like, I would go back to teach.
Yeah, I taught at a boot camp. I just, needed a break and to kind of do something different for a bit. And I taught at this boot camp, passing on the things that I was strong at to people who were trying to transition their careers. And that's where I discovered I actually had a bit of a talent for taking fairly complicated subjects and boiling them down for people who are trying to learn really quickly or learn from the beginning, which is, people who join boot camps.
Right.
And I found that I really loved it, and it was really a fulfilling experience for me. And so when I returned to corporate life, I didn't really want to give that up fully. So I spent a bit of time turning my lessons into books. And so a few years ago, I actually became a published author, publishing my data mastery series, Data Mastery SQL or SQL, depends on which coast you're on, and Data Mastery Python. And I'm currently working on my final book called Data Mastery Product Analytics.
Oh, look at you go. Yeah. That's exciting. So are these like, and like, are these like online or like hardcover, like you go and?
They're both. I published on Amazon's KDP. I forget what it stands for. It's their.
I can't tell you either.
Yeah, I always forget acronyms. But Amazon has a self-publishing program, which is really great because I think that sort of opens the doors to people who maybe ordinarily wouldn't be able to approach a publishing house to provide materials for things that they are subject matter experts at. So for me, yeah, that was my opportunity to share my lessons with the rest of the world. So they're available in hardback. Well, I guess it's called paperback, and then also Kindle. And Amazon does like a great job of handling the whole publishing operation for you. So yeah, you can order my paperback book from Amazon.
And are you going to make it into audio?
I haven't, I actually really haven't even considered that. I, I don't really like to listen to my voice from recording. So, Autumn doing a podcast.
Yeah,
Um,
girl, I got to tell you, this is, yeah, I mean,
okay. So if I'm being encouraged to do that, I will consider it. Maybe I'll hire someone with like a nicer voice or a nicer accent than I have. But no, I haven't considered that. I think Audible from Amazon must allow you to do something like that. So I thank you for the idea. I will put that on my to-do list.
maybe you could get like James Earl Jones, that real,
Yeah.
you know, or,
Yeah.
like somebody like Kevin Hart, somebody
Yeah.
who really
Someone with
could.
like a really solid, like, voice talent. I'm not sure I fit that description, but yeah, if I had the money, I would certainly hire one of those two.
Yes, they could, bring some, because I could hear them being like, I don't understand anything that I'm saying right now, but my God,
It sounds nice.
it
Yeah.
sounds really cool.
Yeah. I think that would be very interesting. I've never actually listened to a technical book by audio, but I assume there are probably really great examples out there. Definitely, there's some parts of it that would be tricky, like how to read out the code so that people who are following along can understand or visualize. But yeah, I'll start researching that.
Just opening all sorts of doors for you, girl.
Yeah, I'll credit you with the idea.
No, I don't need it. You can take it.
Thank you.
So, all right. So you're publishing these series, you have these books. So but what do you do? You work for Instagram, right?
Yeah, that's my full-time job
That's like
now.
your gig.
Yeah, that's my profession. The books are a bit of a passion project for me. So working inside data is like a fairly new field, maybe last 10, 15 years really developed as an industry and started developing certain professions where we have data engineers, we have data scientists, we have product analysts, um, and a variety of other positions around there. And they just started to really like become concrete in what the roles and responsibilities are. And certain technologies became solidified as definitely like part of the toolkit. And the whole idea is, there still aren't enough people to fill all those positions. That's something that's like I've seen in my career for many years. And companies have trouble hiring and finding people to do the role. And I thought if I have these lessons and I can maybe put these books out there, it might be able to help people who are looking to transition from roles similar to it to join the tech industry and hopefully bring the diversity of backgrounds that tech needs.
Yes, which is more women.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah.
There's that little small thing right there.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, my books are also in pink and purple and bright tropical colors, and I hope
Ooh,
to kind of make them a little bit different from maybe the standard tech or just textbook in general, to give it my feminine flair and hopefully, yeah, encourage people of all backgrounds to open the book and see if they like it and if it speaks to them.
that's fun. So what actually do, like, at Instagram, so what's your like day like? I'm sure it's not the same every day, but
Yeah, it's different. I'm involved in product strategy meetings and also taking information and making sure it gets processed really quickly and efficiently so that we can use it to make product decisions. So that's kind of just generally data engineering at any company you go to. Things will be coming in terms of raw logs and they need to be aggregated in some way. So you can think of it from like a large Excel spreadsheet, except so large it would crash Excel, to beautiful visualizations that help people make sure that we're making good choices.
It's just like Google, when Google went down what was that, about a month ago?
That had nothing to do with that. Um, no idea why that happened.
It did. And all those people were panicking, I'm sure, because they were like, my spreadsheet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was probably terrifying. I also remember there was a YouTube bug where YouTube went down and everybody was freaking out as well. So yeah, technology is not perfect.
No,
Things
not
can
at
happen.
all. Not at all. So so do you have a team?
I do. I work with a variety of people. We have data scientists, product managers, designers, engineers, all sorts of people. And yeah, we all work together to try and build, the best possible products for our users.
Do you have a lot of women?
We do actually.
Oh,
I don't know the count. I'm definitely on a team with a bunch of women, and sometimes we outnumber. So yeah, there's a lot of progress being made in the industry, and I'm glad
that's
people
good.
are talking about it.
That's
Yeah.
good. I'm assuming you're remote, correct? You're all
Yeah,
working from a remote.
everyone is remote
Yeah.
everywhere, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is your team, I don't want to say local, but are they spread out across the nation, the world?
Um, There's a variety of offices. I'm actually allocated to the New York office, but currently I'm in Seattle, yeah, at my parents' house for the time being. Yeah, I can just say a studio apartment in New York City is not great for being at home all the time. So
Right.
yeah, I wanted a bit of a backyard and to spend some quality time, and yeah, just buckle down during these like very uncertain times.
So do you then work off of East Coast time?
Hmm. Yeah, so I have been up since 6 o'clock this morning. Yeah, but it means I get off around 3, 4 now, so it works out. I can get in an extra hour of yoga after work that I normally did not have energy for.
There you go. There you go. So you start your day like 3 hours before everybody else.
Yeah, the West Coast people be like starting work probably around 9, and I've already been in it for 3 hours. Um, it definitely has its challenges. People are still surprised to see me at early meetings on the East Coast, but I think it's important to stay in contact with my team and make sure I'm
Right.
there for important things.
So you grew up in Seattle?
I did. I grew up in Seattle, and I lived here until after college. I don't know how many years that was, many years, decades. And I graduated from the University of Washington with a bachelor's in economics, bachelor's of science in economics, which is like it's like mathematical economics. I did a lot of calculus and statistics and data analysis for economic theory. And in the end of my degree, I took a computer science class.
You
Yeah,
were hooked.
I was hooked. Let me tell you, I started college a little early. So I wasn't exactly at the maturity level, maybe, where I really could make that definitive statement about really what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And so at the end of my degree, I loved economics, but I took this computer science class and I kind of loved it more. And I realized I'd made a really big commitment that maybe wasn't perfectly optimized for me. So luckily, though, the economics department at the University of Washington had kind of a very natural flow into the data science department at Zillow. Maybe, you've heard of it. Apparently, it's a very popular app these days during quarantine.
I don't know. Is it
I
though?
don't know. That's what everyone's been telling me. Yeah. So many years ago, I worked at Zillow. And what was interesting is a lot of the people inside the data science department were actually my former TAs and professors. So I ended up, yeah, it was a really wonderful environment. Yeah, at the time, there wasn't a degree for data science or data engineering or anything like that.
Oh,
We were
okay.
pulled from disciplines that were similar, use similar mathematical formulas and stuff like that. So economics was very, very similar to data science. So I ended up getting this role, and I was very close with my colleagues. I still keep in contact with them today. My first manager ever actually has just joined as a VP analytics for a Zillow-backed startup. So everyone keeps very much in contact. And yeah, I worked there for a little over a year. And after that, I got accepted to a data science fellowship in Tel Aviv. So I moved from Seattle to Tel Aviv and did
Tel
this.
Aviv?
Tel Aviv, Israel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just making sure I heard
yeah,
that correctly.
yes, Tel Aviv, Israel. Yeah. So I went to the data science fellowship there, which was a year, interned at Checkpoint, and later interviewed and was accepted to join Facebook. So that's my
Why there?
so I'm Jewish, and it was a post studies experience for professionals in data science, and yeah, there's a lot of great tech companies there. It's called
Really?
Wadi. Yeah, people don't know that, but actually it's kind of a not so great kept secret. There's a lot of R&D that goes on there, like Intel, Microsoft, Facebook, I think Snapchat. There's a bunch of companies. So anyone who hasn't gotten a chance to kind of check that out, do some research on Google. There's some great organizations. It's called Startup Nation Central. That's like a good place to start, and you take a look at all the startups and technology that's forming over there. Yeah, and so it's a great place to train and to learn. And
How
I
long were
stayed
you there for?
almost 6 years.
Oh
So I
my
moved back
God.
very recently to New York City to work on Instagram shopping.
You were there for 6 years?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my
It's a long
God. The
time. Yeah.
program took 6 years.
Oh,
The
no, I'm sorry. No, the program was
Oh,
1 year. I stayed. I stayed and continued to work.
oh,
Um,
okay. So the
yeah.
program was 1 year. I
Mhm.
was like, damn girl, you could go be a doctor.
I wish I was a doctor. I would love to have a PhD. But yeah, it's basically as long as a PhD. So yeah,
So you were
that's
there for a year, but you
Mhm.
just continued to work.
Yeah, I did an internship at Checkpoint. I took bit of time off to teach in the boot camp, and then I joined Facebook
Was the
a
boot
short
camp
while.
over there?
The boot camp was a continuation of the fellowship. So I actually taught people who were coming in after me.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Got
yes, that is the long story.
No,
Um,
no, 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 no. Interesting. Very interesting because you never know how people get to where they are. So, okay.
yeah, yeah. That's like, I guess that's kind of a little bit of advice is nothing's ever really planned. Like just see where the opportunities are and kind of roll with it, and things
Yeah.
turn out. 6 years later, you're still hanging out on the beach.
Excuse me. So, you like when this opportunity came up, you were just like, why not? I don't have
Yeah.
really anything holding me back. I might as well go, right?
Yeah, I didn't study abroad when I was in college, and I really wanted to, but it never lined up with the quarter system that my school was on. So after college, I really, really wanted that opportunity to go abroad that I had seen so many of my friends have, and I'm really grateful for it. Like going abroad is
What an
it's a great,
experience.
yeah, it's a great way to discover yourself and discover the world and see new things. So I decided, why not? I'm young, nothing holding me anywhere. So I went, and yeah, it was a great
I'm sure
decision.
you were scared.
I was terrified, yeah, definitely, but never not do something just because you're afraid.
Right.
As long as you've kind of evaluated.
Exactly. Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. All right, so you moved back to New York.
I moved from Tel Aviv to New York for Instagram shopping. Like I did an internal transfer. I was previously working on light interfaces, which is building applications that are more optimized for a variety of different networks, not like 5G, but maybe like slightly less network connectivity. And I went to join Instagram shopping. I love shopping just in general. So I was very excited to work on something that kind of tailored to my interest in fashion and all that. And so that actually was inside New York, the New York office. So I moved there, and I was in New York for about 4 months before the COVID lockdown happened. So do not ask me any questions about New York, because I don't even, I don't even know the
You're
street.
like, don't even
I
know.
have no idea. No idea.
So, okay, so COVID hit, and then you just kind of came back to Seattle to your parents' house because it's bigger.
Yeah, a backyard is very nice when you're trapped indoors all day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. New York was very cool. It definitely cleared out pretty quickly. So I decided it's a good time to spend some quality time with my parents, and
Now,
you
will
know,
you go back there
yeah, that's the plan.
eventually?
Eventually, we'll see. Like,
You can open
yeah,
your doors.
yeah, yeah. We'll see. I'm playing everything by ear at this
How
point.
long have you been back home?
I came to Seattle in October, so I did my year in New York, but was not really outside of New York after the lockdown. And so yeah, I've been in Seattle since October.
Okay. The
Yeah,
holidays, right? You came home for
holidays
the
basically.
holidays and you're
Yeah,
just
yeah. It,
extending it.
and when I really think about it, it hasn't been that much time, but it has flown by.
I can imagine. I can
Yeah,
imagine. Wow. Okay. Wow. What a journey.
yeah.
What a
It's been quite
journey.
a journey now that I hear it.
Yeah. See, when you say it out loud to a complete stranger, it's like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, what's the next? So, you have this series.
Mhm.
Are you planning on writing any more books after that? Like, it sounds like it's a passion for you.
It really is. Writing books is a lot of effort,
It
a
is.
lot
It's
of
not
work.
easy.
It's not easy. And I do have one last book planned, product analytics. And this is actually a subject that I haven't seen a whole lot of other books out there written about. It's definitely things that you learn while on the job. So they're kind of these trade secrets. Maybe in MBA programs, they touch a bit on it, but you definitely learn most from being hands-on. And definitely when people are interviewing or switching industries, it would be great for people to have a reference guide to kind of give them a little bit of like, hey, here are like the terms, here's the metrics, here's how we do things, so they can prepare for joining tech companies and sort of hit the ground running. So that's my last book. I'm still working on it a year later. It's definitely the hardest of all of them. After that, I haven't really thought about it. One thing I would like to write about is machine learning. But that is, a whole, that might be a couple books. So, because there's different parts of it, like, should it all be one together, or should it really be separated out by like what type of machine learning algorithm, like the category it falls into. So, I think like a lot of other authors, they're like, this is the final book, but I may be tempted to open it up again and
To
continue.
open it up again. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you're more on the instructional side of writing the books.
Yeah. Yeah, I can talk a little bit about them. They're technical books. There is no fiction or fantasy inside
There's
it.
no romance running down the
No,
beach.
no, I don't think I'm the subject expert for that one. I leave it to the subject experts to write the good romance novels. Mine, they're technical. They're between like 70 maybe to 80 pages. So I keep it really short and sweet. They have been designed so that this is for like a concentrated study session. I find that it's hard for people when they look at a giant book. There's sometimes that feeling of like dread and being overwhelmed that they'll never possibly be able to absorb all of this material. And sometimes that prevents people from getting started. And so the books are really, they're boiled down to 70 or 80 pages to be approachable for people. So yeah, they're technical. They'll take you through beginning to at least intermediate, if not advanced subjects in bite sizes. And they're small, so you can keep it on your desk and kind of look at it for reference. I've gotten a lot of feedback from software engineers for especially like the SQL one. This is something that most software engineers study in college and then never see again, that having it as a reference guide on their their table, they just know what page to look at when they're trying to figure out this one thing. They can look at the code and come back. So yeah, each chapter is a couple pages from beginning to advanced subjects, and hopefully is small enough that, once you read it, you know what page to go to when you're seeing it in real life.
Digestible.
Yeah. Yeah. The idea is that it's supposed to be very, very digestible for people and not overwhelming at first. And I think that really gives people the kind of lift off to feel confident to start pursuing and learning the more advanced subjects.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't know if I would be able to do it, but
I've heard that a lot from people, but I promise, with, some quiet time, and just dedication to reading through, I believe a lot of people, would find this enjoyable, or at least, come away saying,
understand it.
yeah, that they would understand it. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Okay, so is the last book the same kind of structure, 70, 80 pages?
It may be a bit more than 80 pages, because product analytics, there's a lot I want to teach, actually. Like, the technical subjects are very interesting, but the technical really empowers the product analytics side, which is about what metrics do we look at, what techniques do we use to analyze the data that we've prepared from the first two, and how do we make decisions from that. And so there's actually quite a lot of expertise and knowledge I want to pass on, um, in this book. So it may be closer to like 80 or 90 pages. So I hope my readers out there forgive me for that. But it should be still short and sweet, ideally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they'll forgive you.
Yeah, I hope so. If not,
They'll get
send me an
over it.
email. Yeah, you can send me a ranting email.
They'll get over it. So, okay. So when you're not busy writing and you're not busy having this really cool job at Instagram, what do you do outside of work?
That's a great question. I'm a TV fan. I love TV. That's been what I've been doing a lot now. I love to kind of just sit down and like binge a TV show. Recently, I've been rewatching House. Medicine, totally different than what I do, but still a puzzle. So that's been fun. I really like photography. I would not say that I'm good at it, but photography and art, I do a bit of like acrylic painting, just to like exercise that creative side. And yeah, I used
Yeah,
to travel.
you're one side of the brain.
Yeah, you have to make
Got it.
sure that you're like paying attention to both, I
You
can't
do
be coding
yoga. You said you did yoga.
and yoga. Yeah, none of these things I will say I'm any good at. It's good to do things that you're, you're not good at. Keeps you kind of exercising your brain. And I used to travel. Like, did a bit of traveling through Europe, but kind of put the hold on that one for now. But
Not gonna
hopefully we'll be back soon. Yeah.
That might be 2022. Maybe you can
Yeah.
make plans in 2022 to
Yeah, I can make
travel.
the plans now. I can book this like great trip now, plan
And
it
it'll
all.
be cheap.
Yes, I am very much looking forward to that. Definitely.
It will be cheap. Yes,
Yes,
yes. So binge watching TV, art, photography, writing a book. Girl,
thank you.
you are busy.
Thank you. Yeah, I think if you ask my parents, they would say it's a tad more oriented to the binge watching TV lately, so not so
All good.
busy. Yeah, but yeah, I try and keep myself busy, and we have to find a way to entertain ourselves these days. Podcast is a new thing for me, so thanks for having
Oh,
me here.
they what's so funny is I'm gonna shock everybody listening to this podcast, but I don't listen to my podcasts, right? I've listened to them, but because I get to talk to you in person, I'm like, I know how that goes. So but I listen to the podcasts of where like people get murdered and then you got to figure it out. And I'm like,
I have not ever listened to one of those. That was a surprise to me, because I was gone, abroad for so long. I kind of missed a lot of these cultural obsessions, and
yeah,
apparently the murder mystery one is a big one. So I have a lot to catch up on.
I'm
Um,
telling you what, Serial, if you listen to
Serial. Okay.
Serial, This American Life, Oh my God. Like I've listened to it 2 or 3 times. They give you, the first one is, really interesting. It's about a murder and who did it. And the second is about the military and all the shit that goes down in the military you didn't realize went down in the military. And then the third one is all about, school and the politics that go into the school. And yeah, so
Wow.
fascinating. Oh yeah. And then I
That's so
listen to
interesting.
Dateline, and I love to hear about the people that get murdered and how do you find out.
Yeah,
But
like solving the crime. I think, yeah, the puzzle of solving the crime and seeing, it be resolved in some way.
and I'm probably not the best person because I'm always like, oh, the spouse did it. Like, I immediately go to the spouse or the significant other, I'm like, oh,
Wow, you're an expert in this for sure.
yeah, I immediately go to the
Well,
no,
I'll
what
have to check it out. So Serial and This American Life.
well,
And
Serial is This American Life.
okay,
That
okay.
yes,
They're the
Serial.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm revealing how much I have missed in terms of pop culture. So
When
uh,
were you over in Tel Aviv? What years?
I think 2014, maybe 2015, up until 2019.
Oh my God, yeah, you missed all of that.
A lot. I'm not sure. I'm kind of fuzzy on the years. It may even be before that, but yeah, I was gone for quite a while. So when I came back, I have been brought up to speed on pop culture because that's
Have
obviously
you?
very important on Instagram. So
It's very
yeah,
important on
had to
Instagram.
do a
Kim
crash course.
Kardashian,
Yeah,
Kanye West.
yeah, all these things. Yeah, I knew about Kim. I knew about Kim and Kanye. That I did see because that was international news.
Oh, okay. Okay. That was
Yeah,
international.
that was a big one.
That was
Yeah,
a big one.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the Taylor Swift and the Swifties. Oh,
I have to look that up. I think I missed that one.
oh
I
yeah.
also missed the whole Fire Festival thing. I only found out about that from a Netflix documentary. And I was shocked, just totally shocked.
What's the Fire Festival?
You haven't heard of this? There's
No.
Okay, do you have Netflix?
Yes.
Okay, type in FYRE, and there's a documentary about this. It was sort of this concert that was supposed to happen in the Bahamas, and it was like all over social media and like was just this great big disaster. And they made a documentary kind of detailing the ways in which this went wrong. And apparently everybody knew about it, but I really had totally missed all of it until I saw this documentary. But I highly recommend that one.
All right. Yeah. That must have been a West Coast thing.
I was told it was all over the place, but okay, so
Really?
great. I'm glad I'm not the only one who
Oh,
missed
girl, nope, nope. Nope. Don't know anything about it. That's good. I'm gonna have to look that up.
it. You'll really enjoy it for the weekend.
Okay.
You'll very much enjoy it. It's very entertaining.
I need it for the weekend. I
Yeah.
don't get to do anything,
I
so
I I have to figure out some way to get through this weekend and not go crazy because yeah, just snow, I guess, to expect, but no
yeah,
skiing really. So
yeah, you don't really have the option now. But are you close to mountains?
we are, yeah, there's a couple of mountains out here. I've decided to, well, first I left all my ski gear in New York City. Unfortunately, I didn't think ahead. And yeah, I'm trying to just, socially distance. And I think probably ski resorts might be, I don't really know what the call is on that one. So,
Oh,
abundant caution.
I think you might be all right because you're outdoors, and most people wear like face
Uh,
coverings to keep themselves warm. Um,
yeah, but if there are crowds, I guess I'm like, you just don't know until you get
oh,
there.
that's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah, yeah.
That's true. You're right. That's true. I didn't think about that. So do you have like, what's up next? What's the next big leap?
Oh, wow. I haven't really thought about that. I've definitely been living day to day, week to week. One thing I really do want to do is go get my master's in computer science. So, like I said, my background is economics from the university, and I discovered kind of late that I really love coding. super nerdy to admit that, but I really love
No,
it.
we
Can't get
all
enough
love
of it.
that.
Good, good. I'm so glad. And I'd like to kind of round that off with a master's degree and really get into maybe some of the subjects that I've touched more lightly in terms of like personal study and learn with professors who are truly the experts on this. So I've been looking into online master's programs at the moment, kind of just I may not be able to go in person anytime soon, and that would probably balance better with my current position. So yeah, looking at online master's programs, there's a few, but definitely keeping my eye on Stanford because that is the world renowned computer science
Yeah,
college. Yeah.
they have a wonderful volleyball team too.
Oh, okay.
They
I didn't
won
know.
the in 2020 before COVID. They won the NCAA tournament. I took my
Wow.
daughter.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yes, Stanford. Yes, the tree. They have a big tree as their mascot.
Yeah, I knew that. My cousin actually, he got his PhD there, and I went to go visit him, and he's like, "Is the mask a tree? It is indeed a tree."
It is
So,
indeed a tree. And
yes,
there was a girl dressed up as a tree running around the volleyball court. And I was like,
awesome.
well,
It's
that's
a great mascot. It's a really great mascot.
it really it is. There's no political anything driven behind that tree. I
Nothing.
love
It's
it.
just a tree. Yeah,
Just a
yeah. Is it
tree.
a redwood? Is it
I
like a
believe
certain?
so. I believe
Okay,
so. Yeah.
okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Stanford's a great school. So well, I'm assuming Instagram probably promotes that continuous education, that continuous learning, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of also like internal uh, career development and all kinds of stuff like that. Um, but yeah, like a lot of people I work with have done their part-time online master's programs in computer science as well at a variety of universities. So everyone's very excited about that like possibility for me. Yeah, so it's definitely like encouraged. You you work with a lot of really technical people, so you'll always have somebody who can help you with homework.
That's
So
right.
you don't understand what's going on. So that's definitely a plus. But yeah, it's short answer, very much encouraged.
You could be like in a meeting and be like, here, let me throw out this scenario for you and see what the answer is.
Yeah, like if we were considering a linked list, like how would I find this?
Right.
Yeah, just throw it out at a meeting and I'd have, yeah, definitely a lot of people who could
You
give me
would,
a
and you
hand
would
on
be
that.
like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, thanks. Let's move on.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was my homework for the night.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Leverage the resources you have.
Yeah, leverage your community. That's definitely the most important.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's awesome. Well, Lauren, this was so much fun. I totally appreciate you taking your Friday evening. I know you
No, thank you for having me.
there's probably some good shows you could binge watch this weekend. I'm gonna have to now go watch Netflix.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go watch Fire Festival, and I'm gonna have to take a look at Serial, and
Yeah, like
yeah, I'll follow up with you on what I think.
yeah, we can communicate.
Yeah, let me know what you think of Fire. But yeah,
Yes.
I just want to say thank you for this opportunity, and this was really fun to come chat and share my story. So.